Welcome into the program. This is Financial Focus, brought to you by the best of the best in financial services, as named by the readers of the Lake City Reporter, 11 straight years and running the team from GulfCoast Financial Services. And founder CEO John Kuykendall here with us as always, helping us to be financially focused. John, we are rounding home. We're in the fourth quarter of the year. It'll be the holidays before we know it. And a lot has happened here in the first three quarters of 2025. But as we are nearing the home stretch, I thought we would check in and get a pulse on what has happened and where we see the economy and the financial world going for the year. So if you would, welcome in. Always good to see you. But what has gone on this year of note that you think is important for savers and investors to be aware of?
Well, Peter, it was interesting because as I was working up some notes on this, I went back and looked at what happened the first part of the year. And, I had totally forgotten that the first part of the year we were dealing in tariffs. So in, January, we started off, we had the largest loss in the stock market history on one day, the first quarter. And then a couple of weeks later, we had the largest increase in the stock market because the tariffs were put aside. And it was amazing to me that the market has done so well, since then, and has been so resilient that I totally forgot that we were all thinking that, this was going to be doomsday and that everything was going to stop. But it hasn't. We had April 9th, we had a quick rebound in the market. So far, everything's been going good. We see a resilient economy. Going into the last part of the year, it looks like that earnings are going to be really strong for this last quarter. And then the people are predicting the first and second quarter of next year. So it looks like that we're going to be moving in to a great position. But, going into the last quarter, there are some things that people need to think about what we need to do before year end. One of them is that if you haven't maximized your retirement account, we need to make sure that your contributions are going to maximize the amount that you can put into your 401k, your Roth IRA, or your IRA. We need to manage our tax strategy. We are really big at GulfCoast Financial on tax strategy. We are in an incremental tax bracket system. So every dollar has the ability to push me to the next level for that dollar. So, the last dollar I earn out of my accounts could cost me 40%. So I want to know where I am, what I'm going to do. If I'm going to do a Roth conversion, I need to look at my taxes, see what I'm doing, and how much can I convert that I can afford to pay the taxes on.
And your team helps with those considerations.
Oh yeah,
right?
Yeah. That's one thing. We have a tax package. We do what we call tax clarity, which is a software system. We input your taxes. Then we can say if you're going to do 100,000 Roth conversion, we put it in. We'll show you how much that's going to cost you versus what you paid last year. So it's a real easy way to come out and say, well, maybe the sweet spot's 50,000, not 75. You need to know that before you do it because it'll make you much more comfortable with your taxes. We also need to rebalance our portfolios. We've had certain segments of the market have had really good growth this year. Other segments haven't. And we need to look at how our portfolio is positioned and are we too risky or are we not risky enough? Where we stand, are we too conservative? Where we stand in their overall portfolio. We need to update our estate plans. That's something that I harp on all the time, Peter. People, for some reason, feel like they're going to live forever, but it ain't going to happen. And so we need to make sure that we leave our loved ones in a good position with their estate documents, the wills, the power of attorneys, that sort of thing.
Yeah,
Uh,
as much as we'd like it to, it just never does. Never works out that we live forever.
I'd love to, but I don't think we're going to make it, Peter.
No,
Um,
I know there are no guarantees with the market, John, but are there any elements that you are paying attention to that tell you where we go from here, or any factors or influences that you think are going to be particularly important?
Well, Peter, I think that the government is going to, and their regulations is going to have a tremendous impact where we go forward. I mean, we're still implementing tariffs, still implementing government reform. I mean, that has a large say with what happens in the market. Also, at some point, we could be overvalued. So certain segments who've had tremendous run-ups this year, gold, silver, tremendous run-ups this year. They may be, they may come down. So we need to be ready for that downturn. I think that overall earnings are looking good. The economy's been resilient. We're going to have more rate cuts probably. The Fed's under a lot of pressure to cut rates. They have cut rates, but they should cut more. How that affects our market and how that affects unemployment and inflation. Inflation's a big thing, especially for retirees. So we need to look at all of that. But overall, I think the economy is going to be pretty strong through the end of the year. Uh, we're always going to have the little bit of downturn before we have the Christmas rally or Santa Claus rally, as we call it. We get a gift right before the end of the year. But in 2012, we didn't get it. We got a downturn in December, a big one. So let's hope that Santa Claus comes. Okay.
Well, we always appreciate when the market goes up, but know that that is not going to be all the time. And so we've got to have that plan put together for up, down, and sideways markets, and to help manage taxes, and to account for all of the factors and the risks and the potential that you talked about there, John. And I know that's why you help your clients put together a written plan, that financially focused written retirement plan, something that you offer to put together for listeners and viewers of this program. And the plan is really what is going to help us have confidence regardless of what the future may bring in the market.
Well, that's right, Peter. What we want you to understand is a roadmap. It's a roadmap, and we can change the road you're on if you decide to take a detour. But we have to have that plan in place so that we can make those changes. We're going to look at taxes. We're going to look at Social Security. We're going to look at Medicare and how much it costs you. We're going to look at the investments, what you're invested in, how diversified are you, how can we do different things with your portfolio to try to make more money for you and also be more tax efficient. We're going to look at Roth conversions. Does it make sense for you? Is it something you should do? We're going to look at your income gap, the amount of money that you've got coming in every month and the amount of money we need to take from your portfolio. We're going to help you figure out ways that we can narrow that income gap so that we have predictable, sustainable income coming in every month, either from your portfolio or from other things like insurance, life insurance, or annuities, all the things that we can work with.
Well, if you would like to get your financially focused written retirement plan put together, pick up the phone, give Gulf Coast Financial Services and John Kuykendall a call. Again, Gulf Coast Financial, best of the best, named best of the best in financial services 11 straight years and running by the readers of the Lake City Reporter. And putting those plans together is a large part of the reason why. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you would like to update your plan or double check or get a plan put together, they are a great resource to call. 386-755-9018. That is 386-755-9018. 386-755-9018 to provide you with financial clarity and focus and confidence. That's the reason why Gulf Coast Financial Services is here and putting together those financially focused plans. 386-755-9018. John, we always appreciate the time. Thanks for keeping us updated.
Well, thanks, Peter. And you expect more volatility than as we've seen before. But remember, don't forget it. I could not remember the first part of the year and how bad it was because it's been so good, as we finish up this year. Thank you. You have a good week.
Be sure to like, subscribe, share, and tune in for more financial focus by visiting GulfCoastFinancial.net. The information presented on this program is provided for informational purposes only, without warranty of accuracy, completeness, or suitability for a particular purpose. This program is not intended to be and does not constitute financial, investment, legal, or tax advice. This information is general in nature and not specific enough to be construed as advice. You should not make any decision based on the information presented on this program without independent consultation with an appropriately licensed professional or competent advisor. Investment in securities or the market involves a potential risk for loss of principal. Trading, therefore, may not be suitable for all listeners. Annuity guarantees are based solely on the financial strength and claims-paying ability of the issuing company. Withdrawals of growth from annuities may be taxable as ordinary income in the year it is taken. Individuals should review contracts for specific details of the product's features and costs. Early withdrawals may subject the owner to penalties, fees, or taxes. John Kuykendall is registered with and securities are offered through Kovac Securities Inc., member FINRA SIPC, found online at www.kovacsecurities.com. Advisory services are offered through GulfCoast Financial Services Inc., a registered investment advisor in Florida. GulfCoast Financial Services Inc. is not affiliated with Kovac Securities Inc. or Kovac Advisors Inc. Past performance is not indicative of future results. All investing involves risk. Investment decisions should be based on your own goals, time horizon, and tolerance for risk. Due to various factors including changing market conditions and/or applicable laws, the content may no longer be reflective of current opinions or positions. GulfCoast Financial Services Inc. has been named as Best of the Best since 2015 in the category of Best Financial Advisor in the Lake City, Florida area. The award was based on receiving the most votes in this category from a survey offered and tabulated by the Lake City Reporter. No direct or indirect compensation was provided to the Lake City Reporter and/or any raters, and the award is not contingent on future direct or indirect compensation offered to the newspaper and/or raters. Portfolio performance is not a criterion, and voting is open to any readers of the newspaper.